Hi, friend. I'm so glad you're here today because we're talking about email freebies. And I know you've heard it before, probably from me, but also many others, that you need to grow your email list. And it's so important because that would be the audience that you own. Now, you don't own the person, you own that email address. Because imagine if Facebook or Instagram went away tomorrow. Would you be able to share information with your students, with your audience? And that's where email comes in. And once you're on board for creating your email list, the next question I usually get is, Amanda, how do I get people on my email list? And yes, you can absolutely ask people one by one and add them manually. You can also put something on your website that says, sign up for my email newsletter, and you will gain a few people from that. However, the easier way and the best way to do this is to have a freebie, which means it's something of value that will help the person that is giving you their email address. You can think about an email address as payment for something. So you're giving something for free, but in exchange for their email address. And in this episode, I'm sharing so much more on this concept. I'm sharing why it works in several examples, very specific examples. And the reason that you're going to hear very specific examples is because this content is actually a sneak peek inside my brand new course, 5 Weeks to Confident Yoga Marketing. This course is opening on January 31st, but you're getting a sneak peek even earlier. And this is because I really want you to know if this course is right for you. So if you love this episode, then I know you will love and learn lots from the course. And because this is the very first time I'm opening this course, there's a very special price. And trust me, you will want in on this. So listen in, and if it sounds good, then make sure that you get on the wait list by going to marketingyogawithconfidence.com/course. But before I share the sneak peek, I want to welcome you to the Marketing Yoga with Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Amanda McKinney, and I am so honored that you are spending a little bit of time with me today. I know you have a lot of choices when it comes to podcasts, so thank you so much for listening in and taking me on a walk or doing your dishes, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're taking a drive. Thank you so much for taking me along with you, and I hope that you find a lot of value in this episode. This episode is brought to you by my brand new course, 5 Weeks to Confident Yoga Marketing. Sign up for the waitlist and get notified when the doors open at marketingyogawithconfidence.com/course. And a quick note before we dive into the lesson, the audio sounds a little different because it was recorded as a video, but trust me, the content is still amazing. So listen in and learn about email marketing. Hi, friend. We are talking today about email marketing, and very specifically, one of my favorite subjects when it comes to email marketing is the freebie. The overall idea is that someone gives you their email address and you provide something else in exchange for that email address. So think about the email address like it's payment. Then once they're on your email list, you get to talk to them. Remember, email is the one platform that we own. So while we don't own the software, we own those email addresses. Okay, so I've talked enough about why using email and all that good stuff, but let's come back to that freebie. And the freebie, I just want to go ahead and say right at the beginning that most likely you're going to have to create a few freebies before you hit the one that really gains some traction and works. So what I don't want you to do is to really overthink this and think it has to be perfect right at the beginning. So the next question that I usually get is, what can my freebie be? And this really comes down to, big surprise here, one thing. And you have to know your dream student. And the more you know about your dream student, the easier this process is going to be. And let's say that you're in a place right now where you're not quite ready to pick your niche completely. Okay, I feel you. I want you there. But for now, let's think about this. So let's say you have a workshop that you're trying to promote and you want to get more people in. You're thinking this is going to be an ongoing workshop that you do a few times a year for the foreseeable future. That would be a great place to start. So you could think, who is perfect for that workshop? So in that instance, you can take this idea of a freebie and say, okay, I'm going to build a freebie for this workshop. So then it takes that pressure off of really declaring a niche across your whole business if that's not where you are today. And then once you have your dream student in mind, Then it's time to think about, what could this freebie be? Okay, there's two ways that I like to go about this, and there's a few other tactics that I'll share, but there's really two that I think really help you get clear on what this freebie could be. And the first is, what is the pain point that this person is experiencing? But let's say a busy working mom. Okay, so she's got a career, she's got a partner, and she's got some kids. Okay, there's a lot going on in this woman's life. What is the pain point? The thing that comes up for me is time, right? So there's a time element that could be in her, she's trying to juggle everything, all the things in one day. She's trying to make it all happen and do all these things. So time is a pain point. How do you address time or stress related to time in your yoga class or in this workshop or in your private sessions? In that moment, I want you to just think about, okay, what could I provide to her that she could take action in 15 minutes? This is the kicker with freebies. If the thing that you're giving them takes more than 15 minutes to take action on, or to read, or to watch, or to listen to, it's not a freebie. We've really got to keep it to 15 minutes, because what you want someone to achieve in a freebie is a quick win. You want them to feel very successful, and that feeling of success related to your name or your business name. So you want the freebie to address a pain point that that person is experiencing, and that they can take action and do something in 15 minutes. If the pain point idea didn't really resonate with you, I've got some other ones too. So let's think about your dream student. Remember, you've got them in your mind. You're really thinking about her or him or that certain situation. And think about what questions they ask. Do you hear the question a lot, how can I do this at home? Okay, if you hear that a lot, which you most likely do, what is it that they're asking to do at home? Are they trying to work on a certain pose and they want to know, what can I do at home in a safe way that I can practice in between coming to your class? Okay, if you get that question a lot, there's a great freebie in there. What can they do within 15 minutes at home that will help them in between your classes? Another way you could look at this is, if you are producing any type of content. If there is any content that you're creating on a regular and consistent basis, I want you to look at that content and see which one is gaining traction. So maybe you've been writing articles or producing YouTube videos for a while now. Go back to your analytics and look and see which one gets viewed the most. And that will give you an indication of what people, or what specifically your dream student, are interested in. That's what you want to know. Take that blog article and create a freebie that goes along with that blog article or that YouTube video. Whatever it is, think about how you can create some sort of a freebie. I'll go through more examples specifically, but think about what you already have created and make it into a freebie that goes along with that content. And because I know you want examples, I have some examples for you. And I want you to pay attention to not just the idea behind them, but also the naming. So naming a freebie is a little tricky. And again, it's the same thing as the overall idea for the freebie. You will actually most likely have to rename it at some point and to gain more traction with the actual freebie. Words are hard. You hear me say that all the time. But what you can do is think about what your dream student actually says. So if people are asking for something and you decide, oh, I'll turn that into a freebie, what words are they using when they're asking for it? That's likely going to be the words you want to use in your title. But the title needs to be very clear. It's so hard not to try and get clever. Trust me, I am the first person that wants to get clever with something. But that's not what we need to do. We need to be clear. Because if I come up with some fancy name for a freebie, but really what I want you to do is fill your classes in 3 steps, right? Like, that's what you want to know, is how to fill your class in 3 steps. So think about it in that clear way. And here are some examples for you. One idea is to deliver a PDF. So this is something that when you can explain something on a PDF, you can show visuals on this PDF. There's a lot you can do, but they don't need audio or video here. So here's an idea for that one. What about Dad de-stress in 15 minutes at home? We talk about the moms a lot, but there sure are a lot of dads working really hard on their parenting and working game. And so help them de-stress too. So in that example, I use the word dad. That actually calls attention to the specific person. Another idea could be after drop-off meditation for moms on the go. Again, I use the word mom in there, so I'm calling attention to the person, but I also put in the action. So it's an audio file. That would be an audio file because it's something that the mom can use in the car. But most likely, maybe they have a quick commute. They just dropped off the kid. They've got about 10 or 15 minutes to get to their job. How can you serve them in that 10 or 15 minutes and allow them to de-stress in between those two things? Using the person's name and when they're going to use the freebie is what I want you to pay attention to with that specific title. Or what about sending a video or audio file to teens? So one idea is guided breath exercise for stressed teens. So let's say you have a passion for working with teenagers and helping them de-stress before a test. Ooh, that's a fun name. Maybe you should use that one. De-stress before the test. That's it. See, I got to be a little bit clever there, but it was still clear. De-stress before the test. It was just a fun alliteration that worked and just came to mind just like that. But when I was typing, I didn't come up with that. So I want you to pay attention to what just happened in that moment. I had all of these names written down before I recorded this video, but that just came to mind. So these are the things that you just never know. I could have named the audio file or the video file a guided breath exercise for stressed teens, but they're totally going to resonate with the other one that's a little more clever and fun. So think about that. Allow yourself the grace to change the name if you need to. This next one is really fun. It airs more on the side of yoga studios, but you could still have fun with this as a yoga teacher. And it's quizzes. So maybe you have a quiz that says which yoga class is right for you. There are several ways you can do a quiz. I'm not going to get into all of the details, but you can have a lot of fun, especially as a studio, if you wanted to lead someone in the direction of guiding them to picking a class. So that is the pain point is, okay, I've got all these choices and I have to decide which one is right for me. So you would guide them with questions and help them get to the answer. So that would be the action that's being taken in that moment. Even if you're a yoga teacher and you're thinking, maybe it's which one of my classes are right for you. You can totally do this as a yoga teacher as well. And another fun freebie idea is a challenge. Challenges are really exciting. You could do this by going live on your Facebook page, or it could be an email challenge where they sign up for the email and you send them an email every day for 3 days or 5 days or 7 days, however long the challenge is. The idea meaning you get the email address, but you're guiding them through some sort of challenge. One example is a 5-minute mobility challenge. So maybe you're trying to teach people about what mobility is and how it's included in yoga. So you could have a 5-minute mobility challenge where every day for 5 days, you walk them through a 5-minute mobility exercise. So in that instance, what you would do is you would have an email sequence where every day they're getting an email from you, and that's how you would deliver the challenge. It's a lot of fun to dive in and do something a little bit different, but challenges do take a little bit more effort, kind of a lot more effort, because you have to show up for them every day a little bit differently than if you are delivering a PDF. But it's all about knowing what your dream student needs. Do they need a delivery of a PDF that they can take quick action with? They have 5 steps they want to walk through, and they go through and they can take those actions on their own in 15 minutes. They just need your guidance. Does your dream student want an audio file of a meditation that they can put in their earbuds and go on a walk and hear your voice? If you are a meditation teacher and you hear that phrase, "Oh, I love your voice," that is a clue that they would want an audio file from you. And on this note, so many yoga teachers have said, but there's so many meditations out there, all of these things. They want your voice. They want your voice. I cannot say that enough. That when they show up consistently for your meditation class, they want your voice. They're resonating with you. So even if you're thinking of a similar meditation of someone else, they still want it in your voice, okay? Same thing with an asana practice. Let's say you start Googling, which it's good to know what everyone else is doing, but it's also a comparison trap that I don't want you in. So if you start Googling and you see, oh, but so-and-so already did this, I'm not going to create another one. Even with an asana practice, you can walk someone through something in your way. The world needs you. Your dream students need you. So don't get off track and think because someone else did it, I can't. Yes, you can. There are tons of freebies out there. They want it from you, okay? So now that you know what your freebie is and you're really excited and ready to create it, you have to think about how it's going to be delivered. So it's obviously going to be delivered in email because we're talking about building your email list through a freebie. So it's going to be emailed to the person. So I want you to make sure to reference the other video of email basics talking about the platforms. I'm not talking about the platforms here in this video, but you can go back and look at that. No matter what platform you're using, you want to deliver your freebie via email. And this is why, because you can actually not only deliver it, but infuse your personality in the email when it's sent to them. There's a lot of information online that talks about delivering emails and how many emails to send and the nurture sequence, right? But what I want you to know is that I want you to keep it really simple. I want you to have 3 emails. The first email is I want you to deliver the freebie. This one is short and sweet. You're going to say, you're in the right place. Here it is. Click to download the thing. Download the PDF. Here's the guide. Here's the audio file for meditation, whatever the case may be. If it's a challenge, it's going to be a little bit different. So put that one aside. The challenge is going to have an email every day. Okay, so that one's a little bit different. For all of the others, I want you to have these 3 emails. The first being delivering the freebie. The second is to follow up the next day and see how things are going. So whatever your freebie is, I want you to check in that next day and say, how are things going? Did you try the first mobility practice? Did you go through the meditation after you drop the kids off today? But all you want to do is check in with them and say, hey, how are things going? And the third email is within 1 week. So whatever feels right to you in your specific freebie, but within 1 week of the first email, I want you to check in and ask them to take an action. So what I mean by this doesn't have to be a paid for action. It can be. So maybe you have something where the freebie naturally leads to a one-on-one session, or it leads to a group class, whatever that is, that's fine. But it also could be connect with me on Facebook. Or, hey, I love Instagram and post more of this thing. So whether it's a 5-minute mobility class or whatever it is, I post more of this on Instagram, so make sure to follow me there. What you want to do here is have them take an action. And the reason for this is because what you want to do in email is get someone used to taking an action. When you ask them to do something, whether it's reply to this email and tell me about how it felt to meditate after you drop the kids off at the school. Whatever it is, asking them to take an action is important because later on down the line, you will be asking them to pay for something. Let's hope you're building your business here. So you're going to ask them to sign up for a free private session or come to a group class or buy a workshop series. Whatever the case may be, you're going to ask them to pay for something. And if you've never asked them to take any action at all, that is a big gap. So if you have never asked them, it's going to feel like a big stretch for them. But if you've asked them to follow you on social media, if you've asked them to reply to an email, if you've asked them to post a video of them sharing something, you're asking them to take these actions. And then when you ask them to pay, it's like a shorter gap here. That's what I want you to know. So taking these actions is really, really important. So those are the 3 emails I want you to send, and then I want you to add them to your newsletter list. So I don't love the term newsletter, but most people understand it as the ongoing emails that people send on a regular basis. So I'm talking about that in another video, so be sure to check that one out. But overall, in the ongoing emails, you just want to nurture those relationships through regular, consistent emails. This allows you to stay top of mind, and it allows you to actually sell things as you keep going and growing your business. But one thing to note that I haven't covered yet, and I need you to understand, is that you absolutely have to test this process. We are dealing with technology here, so things don't work all the time. What I need you to do is set up the form. So let's say you're using MailChimp, because that's most likely what you're using. In MailChimp, you're going to set up a form, but that form is for your freebie. They enter their first name and their email address, and then they are delivered the freebie. That form is what you need to test. I want you to sign up for that form, and I want someone else to sign up for that form and let you know if it worked. What you'll want to know is, what was the process like when they clicked submit? Did they have any weird messages pop up? Anything like that? And then did they get the email relatively quickly? Sometimes it takes a minute, sometimes it doesn't, but you really want it to be pretty quick. So if for some reason the email doesn't come through right away, something's going on. My favorite place to go if you ever run into any issues with troubleshooting a form is Google. So go in and type MailChimp or whatever system you're using, issues with email delivery. And I want you to find the tutorials that are from that platform. So I really want you to find is what MailChimp says, or any of the other platforms that you might be using. Find their tutorials, their troubleshooting articles about how to use their platform. Because you're going to find a lot of things on YouTube from other people, which is fantastic. But the reason that I don't do these, because I've thought about it many times, is that they are outdated so fast. But MailChimp updates their stuff all the time. So if they updated their software or their system in any way, their articles are going to reflect that as well. So that's why I like to go back to the source. So I say go to Google first, but it's really going to that source of MailChimp or whatever system you're using. And then it's time to promote it. Okay, so you really need to promote the freebie, or no one's going to sign up for it. It's just like planning a workshop or a great class and not inviting people to the party. No one's going to show up if they don't know. So no one's going to download your freebie if they don't know about it. At the bare minimum, I want you talking about it at least one time a week. And I want you to do that for at least 2 months before you give up on it. So many yoga teachers will come to me and say, I have this freebie, but I don't think it's getting, not a lot of people are downloading it. And I say, well, how often are you promoting it? And if the answer is, I don't know, then I want them to promote it more. I want you to promote it at least once a week. I want to see if you are actually telling people about it on whatever social platforms you're using, and in person, in your classes. Talk about the thing that you have, that you've created. This is something for free. If you do not promote or feel uncomfortable promoting something that's free, you're really not going to be comfortable promoting something that's paid, and your business will not grow. You have to be a little bit more comfortable with this. So I want you to remember, this is something awesome for them. It is free. It is absolutely wonderful, and they're going to love it. So invite people to the party and invite them to take action on this freebie. I want them to download it. So give it at least 2 months before you think about tweaking and doing anything with it. Not meaning the name. You can change the name along the way, or how you promote it or talk about it. But I want you to keep the same freebie for 2 months, because I don't want you to give up on it. Too many people give up too early. And then if you find that no one's really downloading it, try something else. Then you can move on. But make sure that you're promoting it and giving it a chance before you move on to something else. So your next best step is to decide on a freebie and create it. Don't overthink this. Don't worry too much about the name. If you want help on the name, use our group and post in the group and say, okay, I need help with this name. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what the membership is for. I want you to use this as a resource. So make sure to decide today what your freebie can be, and then declare it in the group. Get some encouragement and then get after it. I want you to create it, share it with us. Let me test your form. Post it in the group and I'll sign up for it and give you help where you need it. So make sure that you're being really sweet to yourself along this process too. I know it feels like there's a lot of pressure, but once you do this, it's so much fun. You'll see your email list grow, and it will be wonderful as you watch those numbers climb. And it's not about the numbers always, but you do want to continuously grow your email list. Because if you'll ever be doing anything online, trust me, you'll wish you had started a long time ago. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye. So, are you ready to kickstart your email list building? I sure hope so, because once you declare the fact that you are going to build your email list, things will start to change in your business. This will determine the health of your business, absolutely, and I want you to focus on it. You can do this in an authentic way by providing value to those on your email list. So if you like this episode, then I definitely want you to take action and start building your email list. But I also want you to get on the wait list for the course because I will help you personally build your email list. I will be walking with you for 5 weeks and not only talking about building an email list, but really setting the marketing foundation for your business. And the best part is that you won't just get me. You're also going to get all of the other yoga teachers who are walking through the course with you. We will be going through this together, 1 week at a time for 5 weeks. There's going to be great conversation during the 5 weeks that everything is being dripped out to you. And there's going to be office hours each and every week. So you'll not only get the support of the actual education of going through the course, but also the support from myself and other yoga teachers. So your next step is to get on that waitlist for the 5-week course. And you can do that by going to marketingyogawithconfidence.com/course and sign up so you can get a notification as soon as the doors are open. But if the course is not right for you, I don't want you to skip your next step because you can still create a freebie and absolutely build your email list without the course. So don't think just because the course isn't right for you that you can't take action. You absolutely can. You just listen to how to create a freebie, and I want you to take action. Feel that momentum and keep going. I don't want you to overthink it. I want you to just create something that will provide value to your dream student. And then, of course, you need to promote it. So tag me in an Instagram story at Amanda McKinney Yoga so I can share your freebie too. And I want to celebrate with you because you're taking that next step. Until next time, give yourself permission to create a freebie and grow your email list and grace along the way. I'll talk to you soon.